What up, guys? This is your boy like one half Enduro back again with another video. Um, I'm gonna give Ninja Nova. It's a young, small YouTuber or whatever, but he is a PC guy. But I wanna. This video encapsulates. This video encapsulates PC guys. Listen, this is Xbox, PlayStation, PC guys. Really understand why Nintendo fans, not the casual, but most Nintendo fans, they got nut jobs out there. Every console do. But this is for me. This is why I don't care about all the other stuff that y'all talk about. I literally had a. You can work to my last video. The thumbnail has like a Switch and a Steam Deck. The video they talking about how I think it's like Nintendo's doing third parties or something like that. How no, it's not that, but I forgot the name of the video. But it has a Steam Deck. It's recent. It's recent. It should be last week, right? In that video, somebody commented, and we had a good back and forth. Just like I'll say this: not all the time that people comment on my videos are jerks, and I think, and I'm talking about that are not subscribers to the channel. That's what I'm talking about. So the non-subscribers who are not subscribed to the channel and comment and not being jerks. Thank you very much for enjoying the channel and understand where we're coming from. Because there's sometimes you guys misunderstand what we're saying, but some of y'all do watch the video and be like, yeah. And I said, well, I never told people how to spend their money. They could buy what they want to buy. I just, and the last one was a good back and forth. He was like, Nintendo's this is being, I said, first of all, let's stop being, as you guys know, I've been saying now, let's stop being a consumer, be a customer. And I have never told anybody how to spend their money to buy a console. All right, I said spending money on games, yes, because y'all are stupid for not buying physical and all stuff. But I never tell them how to spend the money on the console. You want to buy that console, buy the console. Buy the PC, buy the PC, whatever. All right, that part is all good. But and he was like, yeah, you know what, you're correct. And I was like, yeah, that's all. And I told him, and he was like, he said, you could be critical of Nintendo. I have no problem. Here's the thing. I have no problem with people being critical of Nintendo either. I am not. But I said back to him, I ain't got a problem with people being critical of Nintendo. Just be factual. Just make facts. You can't say Nintendo is destroying physical when all their games is going to be on physical. That's an example. That's stupid. That's a fact. And you can't say that when other companies was destroying physical before that. And we cannot take the point of companies that is destroying the physical when gamers, and that's my whole stick all the time for this last couple months, is gamers are the reason why physicals are being destroyed. Because you guys don't buy physical games. I don't buy a lot of digital games. My digital library compared to my physical library is very small. I would say less than 15% at the most. And I even back to the Wii U when I do back to the Wii U, and I said it because I have a lot of digital games on the. I have a good amount of digital games on the Wii U, but I also have physical versions of those games. So yeah, that's the crazy part. But this video here, I want to go through it. I watch only half of it. If I disagree, I'll disagree. But so far that I watch is pretty good, and he's saying exactly why people think it's like, oh man, it's not as powerful. I don't care. Oh man, the graphics is not it's 4K, but not the best graphics. I don't care. The reason I play gaming is for one reason, and he said it, so I'll let him say it.
And soon to be servants of the Nimsy Nova Empire. When the first Switch came out, I was like many of the haters. Like, some of you that are probably watching. I said it was underpowered. There was no way it was going to get 60 FPS on most things, and it didn't. Its gimmicks make it overpriced. Things like that. I quickly found out, though, that the vast majority of Switch or Nintendo fans don't care about the specs.
Exactly.
I've switched sides, though. Get it? Switch. I've switched sides for this one because I think they're right. I think it's important to keep an open mind. I've been wrong before. Nothing wrong with admitting that. I like to say
too.
Be quick to share your thoughts, but be quicker to change them. It's much more important for me to be open-hearted, minded, and kind than it is for me to be right. Personally, I greatly dislike Nintendo as a company, but one thing they always do very well is their games.
I have a problem with Nintendo's company. You might. I don't. There's certain things I don't like. There's no perfect company out there. Like there's no perfect. Yeah, and but all the consoles, corporations, I like Nintendo more than others. That's the way I could put it. All of them, Nintendo is the one that I appreciate the most. But their games, yes, that's what I like. The games.
Never cease to smile at a Nintendo game.
Neither
Even
have
if
I.
it were to chug to a PowerPoint's pace, I would still smile at the silliness, creativity, and fun. Nintendo
Exactly.
isn't the company for people who are power users, though, and that's totally okay. Not everything has to be the most powerful system. Games are
Exactly.
supposed to be fun, and that's what matters to me. I don't care if I can see every pore on Geralt's ass cheek. Is it fun? Yes, okay, me play. That's what I thought this hobby was about. Having
So did I.
fun. Sure, as it looks right now, in terms of handhelds, the Switch 2 is powerful, but people like to say, oh, it's only as powerful as PS4. I don't think you really get how good that really is for a portable system this thin. A portable system that is a little better than a PS4 might not be as powerful as a Series S, but neither is the Steam Deck, and it's not like the Series S can even run everything at 60 FPS either. The Switch
Exactly.
2 isn't as powerful, but it's better than a PS4, still, because it's portable. But here's 10 reasons why the specs really don't matter, not to Nintendo fans.
Exactly.
They aren't playing multi-platform titles. It's a pretty well-known
True.
fact that people who are playing on Nintendo systems aren't buying very many third-party games. This is something
Exactly.
that Nintendo has been talking about recently with third-party developers.
Exactly. I do play third party, but the big third. Okay, so, and this is going way back for people only so people who know who this person is. Um, Back on the channel, back a while back, he used to have Kimpachi. Used to be a guy who used to like to be a contrarian. That's what he used to be. Grimpachi used to be was a contrarian. But I had him on the channel multiple times, and he had conversations and stuff like that. We don't have to agree all the time, but he was at least to a certain degree. He was at least talking about certain things that I could see. All right. He's right that a lot of games, you see you buy the console for Nintendo games. And that part, I disagree with him. Yeah, I buy a Nintendo console to play Nintendo games. That is the first, most, utmost truth. But do I buy a lot of other party games on the console? Yeah. I mean, NBA Jam was not Nintendo back in the day. Neither was Snowboard Kids. Neither was Need for Speed, Call of Duty, stuff like that. Yeah. Just examples. 7 Up Sprite. Those were third-party games. Like, yeah, you are 100% correct. He was that part. I agree with him that I bought those. I play those games. I didn't say bought them because I didn't have the money at the time. And I have a couple games that I have. Capcom. I do buy a good amount of Capcom style games. I do buy a good of a lot of Atlas games or Marvelous games because I do like their games. Those are more indie / third party, but I'll work with that. He's correct. But yeah, example. I could get Dragon Quest on the Switch, Dragon Quest 11 on the Switch or on PS5. I got it on PS5. Just because it was cheaper and it's easier on that. Yeah. There's certain I will get Street Fighter. I'll mostly get in a PlayStation 5 with I'll get another controller, which sucks. But I'll mostly get a PlayStation 5. I don't think I'll buy a PlayStation. I don't think I'll buy Street Fighter PlayStation on the Nintendo Switch 2 unless it's like the Max Deluxe version or some of the version that I think has most of the characters and I feel alright. I could get into it because I know what Capcom is gonna do. That's one I'm not gonna jump into and just spend my money. But there's some games I will get on my PlayStation 5, and there's gonna be some games, but majority of games, if I feel it's worth it, gonna be on the thing. Like Metaphoric, I think that one I'm gonna get on PlayStation 5. Unless they bring a PlayStation until I get a Switch version, I'm hoping that they do that. But if not, then I'll get a PlayStation 5. So that happens.
they want to change that. But people who buy Nintendo systems play Nintendo games,
Yep.
and it makes total sense.
Yep.
If I wanted to play Call of Duty, I'd play it on my PS4, my Xbox Series S, or my PC. Same goes for any other multi-platform title. Nintendo is a system full of system sellers. Absolutely any Nintendo game is a system seller.
Yep.
People will buy it just to play the next Mario, Splatoon, Pokemon, Zelda, WarioWare, Mario Party, Mario Kart, Smash Bros, Fire Emblem, Kirby. All of these game franchises are good enough to buy a Nintendo System for. Even more so when you have all of them. They care about aesthetics. For some, the Nintendo console is like an iPhone. People who buy iPhones aren't buying them because they're good phones. They're buying them because of the social status associated with them.
Yep.
I've met women who won't date men if they use Android because it's a poor man's phone. Their words, not mine.
Women. Just like a woman. Shout out to Trip.
Even though Samsung often costs the same. They don't care that Android is more open and has more user control.
Yep.
Some Nintendo users can be the same way. It's about the optics for them. And some of you can be that way too. But Nintendo fans are willing to pay more just for the aesthetics of ownership, which might sound dumb, but this is the entire basis of the console wars, is optics and aesthetics. Ownership
Yep.
in America is a major part of many people's identities because we live in a culture where we were taught to think ownership means accomplishment. You can own things and not have earned it. Everyone has one. I would be lying if I didn't say this was one of the reasons that I'm buying a Switch too. It's a bit of fear of missing out or being alienated, but it's also a bit of me not wanting to be left out.
That's not me. I don't have a missing phobia. I get what you're saying, but that's not me. That's not what I'm doing this for. But go ahead still.
The conversation. I know all of my friends will have a PC, but I also know even more people will have a Switch too. I want to keep my options open for who I play with. You can mock me for this all you want, but this is also a major reason why you play your specific systems. You want to be
Exactly.
able to play the same thing as your friends. Wow,
Not
it's
really
like
for
we're
me.
all people and like community.
Not for me. You gonna give me the reason that coming up soon, but not for me. I do not care. Now I have a lot of people who follow the channel who are Nintendo fans, and I've played games with them. I've met them in real life. Thank you, and it's cool. But they have also PCs and PlayStations and Xboxes and other stuff too. It's just a person to person that I am cool with. But yeah, I'm a single player person through and through. I really am. People need that. I don't need it to have fun.
And like being with other people that we like. That's crazy. Steam Decks aren't mainstream. The common argument I see is, why don't you get a Steam Deck? Because I don't want one. I already have a gaming PC, and I have a handheld that can use Moonlight, so I can already stream my PC to my handheld. Why would I want to buy another gaming system to play the games I have when I can buy a new one that has games that my PC doesn't? I also like to have my games physical. I like to have a shelf full of games to show off. And you might be typing now, lol, they want to play physical games, but they're all going to be on key cards. As I've said, you giant dweeb, I'm not buying my Switch 2 to play third party. Third party is primarily going to be on key cards.
Exactly.
Nintendo has already said that their games won't be. Even then, if they only have key cards, I won't buy them. The key cards are just a safety net for third-party companies scared of not getting sales on their physical games. So they put them on key cards, and then people don't buy them because they're not physical. Companies are stupid, y'all.
Exactly.
They're just really stupid sometimes. Also, if you want to talk about specs and stuff like that, the Steam Deck isn't even 1080p. The big thing about Steam Decks, though, is that they simply aren't mainstream. They aren't for everybody.
No.
They're incredibly niche devices, and that's okay. They're not even available in stores.
He's gonna bring up a good point there, and that's the point I bring up too. When people say, "Well, why don't you just get a PC? Why don't you get a Steam Deck?" As I said, there's 150 million Switches. There's less than 10 million Steam Decks, and that's being conservative. It could be, I think it might be 6 million, but less than 10 million Steam Decks. And if you combine Ally, the Rogue, and the Legion, it's less than 20. So why are we talking up this niche? And again, nothing wrong with a niche, but y'all just saying go here. Like the video where the person's like, yeah, they're getting rid of physical to go digital. So why don't you just buy a digital game console to play digital game? Like that don't make no sense. It really doesn't.
There's two things you will never find in a Walmart: an employee in the electronics section
True.
and a Steam Deck. I can walk into a store on launch and put a Switch 2 in my cart and play with it the same
Same day.
A Steam Deck I have to order and wait for. I'm a millennial. But I'm telling you, the majority of Gen Z don't like to wait for things. I've seen consumer
true.
reports saying that malls are thriving thanks to Gen Z because they don't want to wait for 2-day shipping. Mobile PCs get even more niche when you start getting into brands like ROG and AIM. These
Yep.
aren't for the average person. Nintendo is. Maybe not with this new price point, but Tish. Besides, Nintendo fans have an investment in the Nintendo architecture and infrastructure. They bought Switch 1 games. They have a Switch Online subscription. They want to stay on the Nintendo system. They're not like me. I'm built different. Dumpy, some might say. That's a good thing though, right? People still like Dumpy. I heard people like big dumpies.
All right, apologize for that. Hopefully, whatever, but yes. Sorry for the noise, but let's go back over what he's saying.
They want to stay on the Nintendo system. They're not like me. I'm built different. Dumpy, some might say. That's a good thing though, right? People still like Dumpy. I heard people like big dumpies. Anyway, I want as many game consoles as possible. Also, they don't want a project. A Nintendo fan wants to turn on the system, pop in the game, and play. They don't want to mess with settings and
I've been saying it all the time. I got to the age right now, I don't care. I liked it back in the day when we just put in a console, saw the screen, or all the sound effects we had. Game starts. That's all I want. And then gameplay. I don't need to. Oh, I don't even want. Even though I got a PlayStation, I have a PlayStation 5. I don't like. Oh, do you want performance or do you want blah blah blah? And then you could do it on the overall to be performance, whatever. And that's what I did. It's like I don't just give me the game. Let me just play the game, have fun, move on. I don't want to do all that shit. It's like I got other things to do. This is not a life-changing situation here. Give me the games so I can get rid of my boredom or quality time, have fun, and move on.
they don't need Windows. They aren't tech savvy. This is going to sound mean, so let's just
I'm tech savvy. I'm just lazy. I just don't care.
rip the band-aid off. The average Nintendo fan doesn't know anything about specs.
True.
Nintendo fans aren't stupid. Knowledge isn't measured by a single metric. I'm just saying that you don't know what a Terra is, let alone why she's being flopped. Simply, talking specs doesn't matter with them because it's not even a factor for why they want the console.
Exactly.
This isn't their
Families,
only
though.
system. This might sound like blasphemy to the PC people, but PC doesn't have everything. Some of us PC gamers still want a Nintendo. As a PC gamer, my second system is always going to be a Nintendo system, and that's for one simple reason. Nintendo doesn't port their games to PC. Xbox has practically no exclusives left.
Yep.
Is there a single Xbox game that isn't also on PC? PlayStation might not port everything, but they still port more than Nintendo. As for Nintendo, outside of Mario teaches typing and emulation, I have never seen a Nintendo game on PC. Loyalty. I'm 34,000 years old, so I played a lot of different video game systems, but I can honestly say I have never missed out on a Nintendo system. The games are just that good for me. I started with the Game Boy Color and Pokemon Red, and since then I bought every Nintendo console. I still don't consider myself a fan of Nintendo or its hardware, but I'm definitely a fan of their games. I haven't missed a single Pokemon core entry, nor have I missed a party of the Mario variety. Aside from Jamboree, I don't plan on that changing. Nothing against Jamboree, I just haven't gotten it yet. I played NES, I own an SNES, Game
Yep.
Boy Color, Game Boy Advance
Yep.
SP, multiple
Yep.
DSi, 2DS, 3DS, Wii, Wii U, Switch,
Yep.
GameCube, and soon a Switch 2. Specs don't provide a full picture. There are other factors that play into whether it runs games at all or how well it runs them. It can
Exactly.
be up to optimization. It's why games like No More Heroes run really poorly on the Switch, but Nintendo first-party titles ran fine. In terms of benchmarks, the Switch 2
Hey, No More Heroes on better on the Wii. Basically, okay, it was set up for the Wii. That's the better spot. I didn't play No More Heroes 3, and I've not played none of the, I bought the games. I've not played No More Heroes on the Switch either. Hopefully it'll work better on the Switch too, because I ain't open it because my stats right now is any game that I have not played on the Switch 1 that I had, Switch game 1 games, I'm gonna put on the Switch 2 in case of the whole save file thing. Well, again, that's a video for another day.
is only slightly behind the Steam Deck. There are systems out there with amazing specs that still struggle to run games that, in theory, it should run fine. Like the Series S version of No More Heroes 3 runs just as badly, even though the Series S is more powerful than the Switch 2 and Steam Deck combined. There could be any
Optimization.
number of reasons why that could be. I'm guessing it's because Suda51 was slacking on the port and didn't care whether his game was in a playable state, which is unfortunate. I love you, Suda. Even then, the info we have on the Switch 2 and its benchmarks doesn't come from a Switch 2. It comes from a YouTuber who got a supposed mainboard that he got on a Chinese auction site. He got it for a couple $100. If it were legit, do you really think it would be that cheap? That person who
Exactly.
sold the board was selling potentially the scoop of the year, and he only sold it for $150? Come on.
Come
There
on.
are so many levels of this that are questionable. Also, he got a non-functioning board and reverse engineered it. Even weirder, they compared it to a similar laptop setup and made it run worse to simulate it. For supposedly caring about the specs, why are you even quoting this information? None of this is reliable. Nintendo hasn't confirmed the processor because it's custom, so this benchmark comes from guesses. You won't
Yep.
have legit tests until the damn thing is out. Are you gullible or just desperate? Do you really need
Desperate.
the one-up in an argument that badly? It doesn't even
Yes.
give you a one-up if someone knows this stuff is potentially bunk. Sure, it's worse than a Series S, but who's been saying it's as good as one? Aside from people trying to rage bait you. You gotta remember, blue checks
Exactly.
on Twitter get paid to rage bait you. We can see that it's worse in gameplay videos. Still better than last gen, and also portable. Comparing it to home consoles isn't a fair or logical comparison. It doesn't need to be better or on par with the Series S because it's portable. To be as powerful as the Series S or PS5, it would need to be as big, and then it wouldn't be portable anymore. No one buying the Switch 2 is buying it thinking it's as good as a Series S or a PS5.
Thank
I have
you.
a Series S, and I know it's not going to be that strong. Graphics aren't the most important thing. Style is. I don't need my games to be hyper-realistic. I don't need to be able to
Thank
see
you.
pores. I need to have fun. Life sucks, and I really don't get why people are so dedicated to trying to make it harder for others. For me,
Exactly, and that's what I said. People gonna make fun out of Grand Theft Auto 6. Have fun, whatever. I don't give a damn about that game constant thing. I'm not knocking that you like Grand Theft Auto 6 and it's the coming of Christ and you'll cream your pants for that game. Just like I'm for Metroid, I get that. Different folks for different stroke for different folks. Understandable. But I at least the understanding for me is I want to differ from the world. I've been on this planet for 40 years. Good, bad, horrible, everything. Last year was a horrible year for me. So many deaths, it was ridiculous. I'm at an age right now where a call is basically, you have a 50-50 chance of, hey, everything's doing great. Hey, everything's all right. And then the other chance is, hey, did you heard? This person got divorced. Hey, this person died. It's 50-50 now. Before it was just like, before 40, I was, it was all, oh, this person got a baby, this person is good, oh man, they got a great job and all this stuff. You barely hear bad news, and I you have bad news, but it was more like a 20 bad news, 80, 60 all right news, and the others just be good. Like it's like that kind of life. But right now, like I don't want to emulate life. I want to escape the lifeism as it is. Fun is fun, and that's all I'm trying to do.
graphics are better when they're stylized, when they have a vibe or an aesthetic. Genuinely,
Exactly.
I mean this. You can quote me. A lower resolution game that is stylistic looks better than a AAA hyper-realistic game.
Yes.
I like cartoony, bright, and
Because it does so much more. One, two, you emphasize a lot of more things to gameplay and everything with the style. 3, it lasts it aged very well. Chef kiss fine wine like a Super Mario World. It ages very, very well. And like I said, hyperrealistic to do what? I'll give you a good example. Here's the best example out there. Modern Disney. Do modern Disney live action movies look better than the original movies that they did? No. Lion King is a lifeless shell of itself. Like, I cannot watch the new Lion King. Good for the people who acted in there, but the original Lion King, which I have on DVD, the original Lion King 1, 2, and 1.5, that's on DVD for my kids to enjoy or younger people to enjoy. That's why I do. Literally this morning, me and my wife was like, yeah, we gotta get Goofy moved because I saw the reviews of Lilo and Stitch. Is it selling good in the movie theaters? Yes, it's doing well. But the story is bad. They took the story and destroyed it. The actress who plays the little kid, props to her, did a great job. The people who worked hard on making Stitch who he is, good. Lilo and Stitch, which is the main part of the story, that's good. Everything else, trash. Trash upon trash. And how the hell we come from a movie that was the original movie called about family into I don't give a damn about your family. Like, huh? That's what it is. Anyway, I digress. But that's the point. That's give you a good example of that.
fun. Modern games with amazing graphics can still be fun, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that I think Helldivers 2 graphics are overkill and I like the original better. To me, this doesn't spark joy the same way this does. And now for the last reason. Oh boy, it's a zinger. The haters won't like this one. But then again, they probably didn't watch this far. So, gloves off. One big reason, and this won't apply to all Nintendo haters, but a solid chunk of you are socially inept and are bad at convincing people of anything. A lot of you lack empathy and decorum. You're mean, and you associate a person's likes with their intelligence. You treat Nintendo fans like they're stupid. You call them names. You act like you're better, and you won't settle for anything less than everyone agreeing with you.
Exactly.
You are a miserable and insufferable person that will only be happy when others are as despondent as yourself. Some of you are genuinely exhausting to talk to, and you only have negative things to say all the time. You are physically taxing to be around, and on the internet, that aspect of your personality is dialed up to 11 because you have the protection of anonymity. Most of you wouldn't talk to a person in real life the way you do on the internet. So who the fuck would listen to someone like you? Try being nice, you miserable sack of moldy wet gym socks.
Perfect fatality. Brutality. I can't agree more with what you're saying, sir. I can't disagree to be agree. I'm just fucking around. No, you're 100. You're not 100. You're 1,000% correct. Drop a 100 down in the comments for this. What he just said. He is 110 billion% correct. Just as the sun is a gas of and water's wet and fire is hot. He is correct. That's what the problem is most of the time. Is this inferiority complex that it gotta oh, I got big PC, I'm better than you. Shut up. I don't care. And think about it. Go back to the videos I have all the arguments for the last couple months when it's about the Nintendo Switch. When people it's like Nintendo's robbing you. Okay, I'm gonna spend my money because I want it. All right. If I feel like they're robbing me, I won't buy it. Be a customer. But then you tell me to go buy a PC. Don't go buy no $80 game. Okay, you're correct. That bubble's gonna pop anyway, but okay. But the condescending, downtoning ways that some of these YouTubers, are you seeing the videos I played about talking like how we're stupid and we're dumb and all that stuff like that? He is the Nova, you're correct. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like, why do you all care so much? When y'all needed to be caring about physical games back in again, I'll say it again, 2012, y'all didn't give a damn about it. 2017, you didn't care either. Now you care about physical games? Nintendo is doing this. Now you care? But back then you didn't give a damn? Shut up. Shut up. You are 100% correct. I can't argue. Man, thank you. Thank you. That is a perfect setup. Perfect of saying why we don't give a damn. Leave us the hell alone. Some of y'all have some real gripes, and I respect that and I understand that. The one about losing your save files and stuff like that, like I've done a little video on that, and that's why I said do not upgrade your Switch or whatever yet to the new one where they have all the game share cards and everything, and on the screen. I have not done that to none of my Switches them yet. I gotta ask my sister if she's done it, if Katie has done it, but we'll see. But I have not done that yet. But you have those got legitimate gripes, yeah. And my main theory always and always have been, if you don't like it, don't buy it. If you like it, buy it. So be a customer, not a consumer. Be a consumer. I'm anti-consumer as all because I don't want, you should not be consuming shit. Be a customer, all right? I'm a consumer in certain things as well too. I'm not a customer in everything, but still, just saying. Man, perfect there.
If you're someone who has already typed a mean comment without even watching the video, this is probably about you.
Exactly.
You're just so painfully draining to talk to. It's really simple. If you're an asshole, people don't want to listen to you. This
Thank
whole
you.
gotcha, I told you so, and always having to be right mentality is just unattractive. I really don't know how else to say it. It makes you look bad in so many possible ways. It's terminally alone behavior.
Yep.
That's it for the list. It's nothing crazy. The haters probably could have figured it out if they weren't so busy tweet arguing all day. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, consider checking out something on the end card or go to my blog to check out.
Shout out to you, sir. Great video. Check it out. Nizzy Nova. Like I said, he might say some stuff on this channel I really might disagree with. I mean, the stuff on the screen right now I see is make games better, turn your Switch into our tablet, what he hoped Nintendo fixes. It could be all that. But this video, 10 out of 10. I respect everything that he says in there. Some things I get it, but you don't like Nintendo as a company. But again, that's just here or there. But this is the reason why we play Nintendo games, because their games are good. Their games are fun. Their game is art. We play for the games. We have fun with their games. That's why we buy Nintendo games in the first place. Nintendo consoles, to play that. Some of the consoles do help enhance some of the games that we play. No ifs, ands about that. As I said before, and I'll say it again, the Switch One is the only reason that's my number one console, because of the games. I have the biggest gaming library ever in my lifetime because of this. But my number one console by far for fun and the way games were played, the Wii U. Number one console. No ifs, ands, or buts. Love the tablet. Love some of the styles they use for some of the games. Love that it has the technology from the Wii to play some games through the Wii remote to shooting games and stuff like that. Like that, and the asymmetrical playing, and Nintendo World's a really good game. Like the Wii U is my number one console because of that. It's because of that. That's why I love the Wii U. All the games I bought, I have fun. I enjoyed. I had a blast. So, I don't like I'm not trying to be contrarian. I'm not trying to be like the crowd. I'm me. I'm Liger. I know what I like, and I know what I buy. I know what I don't like, and I know what I don't buy. Do I get the mark 100%? No. But I have a high marks because I just don't put up a lot of bull crap. That's why I keep on saying, be a customer, not a consumer. Because it's just annoying. Alright? With that said, there's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect for you. Simply enjoy the games on all consoles, including PC. Alright? Peace out.